It started as an idea, it became a dream, and now it's becoming a reality. No one foreseen it happening, it just happened. But enough of the chit chat. It's game time!
Do you like football? Do you appreciate good commentary? Enjoy the factual entertainment we call podcast? You won't regret it. Tune in while you can. They aren't on forever.
Clocked in, minds at work. Stadium's my only church. IQUC, I come in first. NFL, I'll wait my turn. Brucey is the QB1. Timmy is the football nerd. Ryan's hopping on them takes. Religious reek will bless with words. Last but not the least is Reese. He shows opinions over. Hova speaks his mind while staying sober. Spits his facts, come watch or show. Your hat is on backwards, you know it's for clothes. Are you lucky they started this show that you're clover? Think that your brain is super, then Nova. Tune in while you can. You'll hate when it's over.
All right, guys, before we get things started, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Levittown Carpet and Flooring. As always, estimates are free, but if you mention the Football Guys podcast, you will receive $50 off for your service. That's just Eddie Edmond being the good guy that he is. Also, Brothers for All Motivational Group. That's our friend Eddie and also Isaiah. They're out there trying to spread a positive message. You can find them on Facebook and YouTube. That is Brothers for Motivational Group.
It's true.
Eddie, yeah, man, for your carpet needs.
All right, welcome in, everyone. I'm Ryan. As always, I'm joined alongside Reese, Reek, Tim, and Bruce. We are the Football Guys, and this is the Football Guys podcast. Tonight, we're going to wrap up our positional end of the Goat Madness series. We're on to the last leg, and that's Safeties. After this, we'll be heading to the round of 8, where the winner of this will be going on to meet Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton, Tony Gonzalez, Primetime, Lawrence Taylor, and Reggie White. So we'll see who's going to be making it on. And then the next episode after this one you'll be hearing will be our round of 8. And we're trying to iron out the details still, but we're trying to think of a way that we can all get in the same room to do that. So our first live in-person episode, a pretty cool thing. Probably no better episode to debut that with. That being said, let's throw it over to the master of ceremonies, Timmy Goat to Joseph, and he'll reveal our bracket.
Hello, everybody, on this lovely evening. So we're going to go into the safeties here. We were just talking about safeties is not a very deep in greatness position. There's a lot of good safeties out there, but it was a lot easier to find the top 8 here than it was in corners or quarterbacks or receivers. So we're going to go with our 1 versus 8 seed, which is Ronnie Lott versus – let me get the thing here. Hold on. I forgot already.
Jake Tatum.
Oh, yeah. Jack Tatum.
That's
not all. Then we got our 4-5 matchup, which is Brian Dawkins versus Troy Polamalu.
Spicy.
And then we got our 3-6 matchup, Ken Houston versus Paul Krause. Unless you're over like 60, you probably don't know very much about these guys, but we had to give a shout out to our ancestors also. We don't discriminate on age.
Sure.
And then we got the 2 versus 7 seed, and Ed Reed versus Steve Atwater. So we'll start with our first Ronnie Lott versus Jack Tatum. Let's go with Tariq first.
So, I had a really quick look up who Jack Tatum was.
Oh, Jesus,
heard of the guy?
Joseph, bro.
I mean, listen, bro. I'm an '87 baby. The man was born in '48. What do you want me to do? He played from '71 to 1980. Okay. We all know who Ronnie Lott is. We're going to give him more attributes and stuff like that later. We're not going to waste time with this matchup. The guy that he's going to get, Jack, has 3 Pro Bowls. Now, granted, he won a chip. God. He has 3 Pro Bowls. It's just really a discussion. One person has like over 10 Pro Bowls. One person has 3. So we're going to say it's Ryan Lott. It's not even close, so we can just keep this moving. Go ahead. What you got, Ryan?
Wow. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It's Ronnie Lott. There's not too much I can find out about Jack Tatum. He's actually 10 years older than my grandmother. So
You had to just put that in there, huh?
You did.
I'm
you
not.
did.
I'm not exaggerating. He's literally 10 years older than my grandmother, almost to the day. Actually, I'm looking at his birthday right now. Yeah, so there's not too much input I could have on that. It's clearly Ronnie Lott. Tim, what you got, bro?
This shit's wild.
I'm a Niners fan, so I'm gonna keep my bias out here, but it's Ronnie Lott. Jack Tatum, he was a hitter, but like Reek said, man, 3 Pro Bowls.
That's what they say. Like, yeah.
That means you at no point in your career you were one of the 4 best safeties more than 3 times in the league.
Nah, big facts. That's big facts.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
We'll go with Bruce here. What do you got, Bruce?
Go ahead, give the history lesson. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Eulogy.
Only thing I'm gonna hit you all with is y'all acting like Jack Tatum is 146 years old.
Definitely
He
not.
played till 1980. So
Okay.
come on,
Yes.
fellas, be better. All
Super
right.
Bowl champion.
Now, with
Yes,
that
he has a
being
chip.
said-
1980.
With that,
And-
no, stop it, shush. Listen, with that being said, Tatum was a thumper, but he was nowhere near the kind of thumper that my man Ronnie Lott was. I'll save the goodies for later too, and I'm gonna say Ronnie Lott by a long mile. So go ahead, Reese. Tell him Ronnie Lott so we can go to the next round.
Well, unlike you guys, I do respect the dead. So, but as you very quickly, and I'm not going to make this too long, but the fact of, I mean, you guys are right. Yes, Jack is no longer with us.
All right,
Thanks for letting us know that, bro.
John David Tatum.
How you gonna hit him with the government name, dog? Come on.
Look, I mean, I had to. I mean, but seriously, man, Mr. Tatum, man, he was a hell of a player. Honestly, as you say, he wasn't a thumper like Ronnie, and when I say this, not really a comparison because literally one's a Hall of Famer and one's not. So
thank you.
I mean, that's all you really have to say. But
yeah.
when you talk about Jack Tatum, man, he's also another part of that. How we had before, we talked about rule changes. It was because of him. Also because of a couple hits. He also was part of that immaculate reception, in which, Steelers fans, you guys are all proud of that. But he was the one who made the hit and had that ball come out like that. Also, he had a crazy hit on, I believe the guy was Dave Singleton. I might have got his name wrong. But in which he pretty much paralyzed him,
Yeah.
or lost all 4 limbs. It was
a
crazy hit.
That was nasty. That was definitely
nasty hit. I mean, they stopped showing it. They used to show it, but they stopped showing that. It was a crazy hit. So, but Jack was nasty, man. I'm not gonna lie. He was a part of that Raider team that helped Madden win. So I don't want to just say like he was nobody. There's a reason why he's on this list.
Tatum was a
There's
bad
a reason
man.
why he deserves to be, given his roses, his flowers. But it's
That was a
definitely
nice eulogy, bro. That was a nice eulogy.
I had to. I thought Bruce was going to do it. So I wasn't.
Nah, the reason why I let you do it is because there's so much more I could do for other safeties than Jack Tatum. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's go
Hear
ahead.
that?
Who you got next?
His nickname's the Assassin.
Yeah, I know.
That's
a good nickname.
That's a pretty tough nickname for a safety.
Bro, he used to light him up.
Sorry,
he was another one with the forearm hits, bro.
Yes,
he was
exactly what I'm talking about. Yup.
Jesus.
Oh. Sorry, I had to sweep you like LeBron in the finals, Jack.
Yeah.
Bravo. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So we'll go next to the main event on the undercard here. If this was the March Madness bracket, this would be the tough bracket here. So we got Brian Dawkins versus Troy Polamalu and the luscious hair.
All
so
right.
let's go with Bruce here. I know Bruce has been waiting for this one. He's been counting the days, marking them off on the calendar.
So
this is going to be 35
as you
minutes.
see, right? Not for this round because this is short and sweet, baby. I wore a shirt that it just exudes greatness. It's he is the GOAT. So I wanted to make sure I put that out there for one of the final Go Madness rounds before we get to the real hot topics, right? Little shout out to Muhammad Ali, but look, man.
His mom would call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
You better say his name right. Now, listen. Brian Dawkins, there's nobody, I don't think, ever in the history of the game that played with the kind of passion that Brian Dawkins did. Brian Dawkins had 25 interceptions,
Ray Lewis.
25 fumble recoveries, and 25 sacks, right? Or forced fumbles and 25 sacks. He's the only player in the history of the NFL to ever do that and accomplish that feat. Brian Dawkins doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. Tariq Jackson
Doesn't.
Yes, I know that. Thank you.
He
You got
actually-
one as an administrator.
He's actually a coach. He has a ring, but as a coach. Okay? He deserves a ring. He did everything he could to get that ring. Shut your mouth. He did everything he could to get that ring. Troy Polamalu has a ring. Okay.
2.
So, well, whatever. I'm not talking. Well, I know he has 2 rings. Give me a second, huh? But look, I'm not the one that's used this whole winning is everything like some of y'all. And I'm going to tell you like this. Troy Polamalu was a very good player. He was, very good. But like Tim said something to me earlier that it's hard to be a great safety for a long time. Brian Dawkins did that. Brian Dawkins is in the Hall of Fame for a reason. He is the in his era, he was in my eyes, if it wasn't Ed Reed, it was Brian Dawkins. Troy, I don't know, man. Troy made some plays, but he just wasn't Brian Dawkins. And I'm hoping Brian Dawkins gets to the next round because I definitely got a lot more on this man. But obviously, I'm going with Brian Dawkins because Troy never really did it for me. Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, Brian Dawkins, those guys moved me. Troy didn't. He was a great player. I said good, that was ignorant. I apologize, Troy. You had great hair. You got to get the hell out of here. I ain't trying to holler at him right now. Me and him have so much in common. But the hair, you know what I mean? But nah. Go ahead, Reese.
Jeez. I guess how am I supposed to follow that up? Right? What am I supposed to say after that? But I'm going to go the Reek route. I'm going to say how a guy has pretty much 2 Super Bowl championships, right? As you guys said, 8-time Pro Bowler, played for one of the finest establishments in the NFL and helped lead them for now. I'm pretty sure now they have the lead for the most NFL Super Bowl wins in history, correct?
What's up with Brady?
Tied.
With Brady.
Tied. Okay. With New England. Okay. So, yeah, this guy was Defensive Player of the Year. Got a lot of Pantene Head and Shoulders commercials. There's hard to go against a guy. I know Reek might do this because he's bald, you know what I'm saying? But I can't go with a guy who don't got no hair. There was a reason he was able to fly like that. It was aerodynamic. But also was a guy who had a lot of hair who was flying around just as much. So I'm going to go with Troy Polamalu, just the way he played and put that position and held that defense down. I honestly don't think they win 2 championships without Troy, hands down. So what do you got, Rye? I see you got the jersey on, so I kind of
That's a sad day right there that you just picked Troy Polamalu.
I guess it kind of tells who you're going to pick there, isn't it, Ryan, Mr. Lee?
He really put the jersey on.
I know.
Of course.
Black one, too.
I know I've told this to Bruce before. I don't know who else I've told to. Brian Dalton's my favorite player to ever put a football jersey on his back in the NFL. Ain't no question. However,
Dun, dun, dun.
as Reek always says, that's what it's all about. Brian Dawkins never, ever, ever in his playing career won a ring. We ain't talking about Brian Dawkins, the coach here, and we're not talking about Brian Dawkins' honorary ring in 2017 that he got. So, that being said, it's Troy Polamalu.
I did not see that coming.
It's Troy Polamalu.
See that.
I put the jersey on for the shock factor. And it's hard. It's really hard to do that. It's hard to do that because he is. When I say he is my favorite,
that's unfucking believable, dog.
He is my
that's
favorite.
That's unfucking believable.
Hold up. That's my opinion.
I know it is. It's awesome, but it's very
spicy.
He's my not only is he my favorite Eagle of all time, and everyone knows Eagles my favorite team. He's my favorite player to ever lace him up, to ever put the cleats on, step out in that field. But just because he's my favorite doesn't mean he's the best.
Oh man,
it's valid. You have to be able to separate the two.
I know. I don't know how to. I know my favorite player. He got selected, so he just happened to be really great. I'm just sorry.
What you got, Rick?
Well, He's not going to win because I know Tim. And Tim, even though he's a Niners fan, he's not going to win. But I'm going to say it's Brian Dawkins. Here's why I say it's Brian Dawkins.
I respect that.
Because of the fact that he has more tackles. He has more interceptions. Actually, no, I think Powell has slightly more interceptions, but he also has more sacks than him, so he's more versatile. Yes, Troy has
everything, dog.
Yes, Troy has the ring, but that second ring, that offense was ridiculous. I mean, they won the Super Bowl based on offense, not based on defense. So I'm gonna give it to.
Facts.
I know it's gonna be the you're gonna lose this battle because I know about Tim, but yeah, I'm getting it to B though.
Stop holding that up, Ron. You don't deserve that jersey.
Okay, so let me say this. Out of every matchup so far, whether it's first round, second round, finals, this was the toughest one for me here. Because I honestly do not like the Eagles, but I do like Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins and Brian Westbrook are probably the two players I like the most from the Eagles. But Troy also, I don't like the Steelers. But I do like Troy. I like Troy and I like James Harrison. This was tough. Like, I looked at the stats, and, like, actual number stats were ridiculous, but you look and you got the same amount of first-team All-Pros. I think the Pro Bowls were the same amount. We get over here, we got Troy Polamalu, 2010 Defensive Player of the Year, an award that Brian Dawkins never won.
Mm-hmm.
He got slighted the 1 year, bro. But
that being said, I'm going with Brian Dawkins here.
Nice.
Dawkins was the leader of maybe the best defense in the league for 5 straight years. So that alone, I'll give him the edge. I can't blame him for the Super Bowl losses and stuff because his quarterback and coach kept choking every year.
Facts.
Yeah, I feel bad. Reek wasn't even here to hear that.
I know.
Let me just add, and I'm gonna save all the rest of it for. But Dawkins, my biggest issue with anybody picking Troy over Dawkins, because Dawkins did everything for that team. Dawkins meant everything to that team, everything. When Dawkins went out, that was the first losing season they had since '99. Like, Dawkins was everything to those Eagles teams.
But he got drafted, 96?
No, he didn't. He took Dawkins.
Come on, Tim, let's go.
Come on, Tim, let's go.
You know what, Tim?
I was like, no, yes.
I apologize, Tim, because I had no faith in you. I'm sorry.
You know what, though? I'm going to tell you something. I didn't respond to you because I had a feeling. Because Tim, one thing about Tim, as much as he hates the Eagles, he respects greatness. And he knows what Dawkins meant to that team.
Yeah, man. I know about Polamalu, but Polamalu has some help.
Yeah,
Big Ben as a quarterback.
He did
Hines Ward, another
close
to be Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot of help. I mean, Big Ben is better than McNabb.
That's what I said. The Eagles' lack of Super Bowl wins was not the defense's fault; it was the offense.
Nah,
the coach's
like
fault.
look at the game against Carolina. The defense held them to 16 points or 17
14.
All the games were close.
Like
Tampa Bay everybody.
Okay. Go down to the Eagles memory lane.
Yeah,
3-2. Next.
Yeah,
get him out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the number 3 seed Ken Houston versus number 6 seed Paul Krause. I said earlier.
Paul Krause.
If you're not in your 60s, you might not know these gentlemen. I mean, I'm not sure if they're still alive. I didn't check that out either. So
What?
I apologize if these guys are dead. I'm not sure.
They two giants, though. I'd say that. They both 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3".
So,
yeah, they can play though.
So who wants to go first on this one?
I'll get this out the way real quick.
Ryan, we know you. We know you're a very old.
Devil.
The devil, you don't.
So I hit up my friend the devil for this one, and even he was scratching his head.
Oh man, you know what? Get him out of here.
So what I got right here. This is a nice.
Is he flipping the coin? Oh my god!
This is a 2018 Voyagers quarter. There's your heads. There's your tails. I'm gonna flip it. Head is for the 3 seed. Tails is for the 6 seed. Whoever it lands on, that's my pick.
This guy flipping the goddamn coin. Can you believe this shit?
It's heads. So, whoever
you supposed to let it drop.
That's a 3 seed.
Nah, I caught it on my wrist.
That's Ken.
3 seed, I think.
He gave it to Ken.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with the 3 seed with the head. I don't even remember the dude's name. Never heard of these guys.
That's Ken.
Kenny.
That's Ken.
Kenny G.
Yeah, let's go with that. That's my pick.
That's really bad.
You know what? Let me go real quick. Jesus Christ. This guy flipped a goddamn coin on him. Shit. Either way, Kenny Ray Houston. I believe he's not related to Whitney Houston. You know,
it's a distant. It's a distant cousin.
Distant cousins. You know what I'm saying? If y'all like 50 Cent. Distant cousins. Okay. So you got Paul. What's his damn middle name? Paul James Krause.
Will you stop calling about a government name before I call you by yours?
Hey, look, don't call me by my goddamn government name. I'm telling you that right. Don't call me by my government name, okay? Look, you can find anything on these football players. But if you guys do not know about these two, that means the NFL, that means NFL Films, that means ESPN, that means even us, are doing them a disservice. Because having these greats, having guys that we haven't spoke about yet, these two are the reason why they paved the game and what they've done. Kenneth Ray Houston was a problem. You know what I'm saying? I understand if you guys look at the stats and all that other good shit, great. But 6'3", 197.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Paul Krause, 6'3", 200 pounds.
Talk to him.
Bringing it. You know what I mean? Now, Paul Krause was part of that Purple People Eaters, okay? With that front four. Of having what was it?
Alan Page, who wasn't on the D tackle list. I'm just saying.
I know he really wasn't.
Terrible defensive player wasn't on the tackle list.
Who else was there? Marshall and who's the other person? God dang it! Larson.
Look at you old head. You.
I did a little bit. I did a little
because you saw them live.
I'm a Renaissance man. Okay.
You saw them live.
My thing is, both of these guys, like I said, paved the way. Paul Krause literally leads the NFL in interceptions from the safety position. Bro, you got to understand the impact these guys made. Also being tall, linky ass safeties. Oh, what we kind of have right now. So, Mr. Houston, another one. You know what I'm saying? Right there behind Krause as far as interceptions. I believe he has, what do he has here? 49 interceptions.
That's not close, but yeah.
But upon that, in the time frame he played, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Also, he has a lot of fumble recoveries. You know, once again, I'm going to have to go with Mr. Paul Krause. Why go with Mr. Paul Krause? Just so the defense he played, and that defense was tremendous. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl, I believe it was 4 times. They could not get it, but I got to go with Paul Krause on this one. What do you got, Reek?
So, of course, you know, I haven't seen either one of these two play live. So I got to go to the stats. Yes, Krause has 81 interceptions. That's impressive. That's very impressive, especially be a safety back in the day when you know they ran the ball much. So 81 interceptions is very impressive. 49. But here's the deciding factor. One has 12 Pro Bowls. The other one has 8. One is on the Centennial team. One's not. One went to historical Black College of Prairie View A&M. Shout out to HBCUs out there. Yes. Hope you young athletes out there bring it back, bring the talent back over to where, you know, HBCU show us some love. Yeah, Prairie Views. Yeah. Come back to the HBCU schools. Don't go to the Dukes. Come over here. Come back home where the history is.
I don't think nobody really
but yeah, I'm going with Ken. Ken, baby. HBCU, baby. Let's go. 12-time Pro Bowler Centennial team.
We got 2-1 Ken. What you got?
What you got, Ryan?
No, he already picked.
Oh, you went? What you got, Bruce?
Damn coin.
It better be Ken, Bruce.
Let me go first, Bruce.
All right, go ahead, Tim.
Go ahead, bro.
Go first one, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I knew not much about these guys. I knew the name Paul Krause and the greatness.
Yes.
But like they said, 81 interceptions does not just lead for safeties. It leads altogether.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Way to ruin my shock value.
I mean, he leads in
listening.
But Ken Houston also leads in touchdowns with 12.
He does. Definitely
he does have 12.
So this was a tough list.
Look at his interception returns.
I mean,
Yards.
yeah.
It's Night Train Lane-esque.
So this was a tough one for me, man.
Not prime.
Ken Houston, they said maybe. Maybe father of Allen Houston. We don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Allen Houston.
Maybe.
Houston
Paul Krause. Maybe the dad of Paul Walker. We don't know that either.
Right. Right.
So
we don't know.
It's hard to tell. So I'm going to go with Houston. We have a problem.
What?
And go with Paul Krause.
Wow. Oh, that's great. That was good. That really threw me off.
Wait, you went to Houston or Paul? I'm confused.
I said Houston, we have a problem.
I said Houston,
going
we have a
with
problem.
Paul.
I'm going with Paul Krause.
Okay.
That was so good. That was so good. Oh, that was good.
Look, everyone's like confused. They were like, "What?"
No, he got me because I was like, "Son of a bitch."
So that's okay because his Ken still goes to the next round because it's 3.
No, he does. Wait, how many? Who
Ken
wrote
flipped.
already?
Yeah, Ryan flipped the coin and got Ken.
He picked Ken too.
Yeah.
Aristo
No,
Kenzo?
that's a disservice, dog. You, first of all, you're a hypocrite. And I
Ooh.
love you. You, Mr. Night
How?
Train Lane. Mr. Night Train Lane.
Yes.
This man is a safety with 81 interceptions.
That's damn impressive. Right?
You were about to go 12 rounds for Night Train Lane,
Yes.
and you totally disregarded this man's 81 interceptions.
I did not
12
disregard that, man. I
interceptions in
said
his rookie
81
year.
is incredible, but I said the
Paul
one man.
Krause.
Go ahead.
He didn't
almost
even get
double.
he didn't even get
It's
to run
almost
around.
double.
He didn't get to run around wearing number 81 and hitting people. He did it in a regular TV number. The man was a problem.
I'm not saying he not 12. I mean, 81 picks is a problem, but why would he make 8 Pro Bowls?
Because he played on a great defense. What do you mean?
He did.
Dude,
He did.
there's other people that go on great defense and make Pro Bowls.
Bro,
Did he
how
go to
many
4
times
Super
have you
Bowls?
seen play? Yeah, he went 4 in a row.
He won what?
He went to 4
No.
Super Bowls in a row.
He went to
Super Bowl.
4. He didn't win them.
In a
No,
row.
but I was saying
Yes.
he went there. You can't go to the
He
Pro
didn't
Bowl
win
when you go to
one.
the Super Bowl.
Fucking
No. They still give you the Pro Bowl nod if you make it to the Super Bowl.
Not back then
Don't
they
do that.
didn't. Not back then they didn't. No, they did not.
What years did he go to the Super Bowl?
You look it up.
guess we-
It was in the
70s.
What team? What
4
team
in the
was that?
70s.
When he went?
Minnesota
Vikings.
Vikings. Oh my
Vikings.
God. What
Vikings,
did you
all
just
Vikings.
say?
No.
What did you
I'm
just
talking about.
say?
I'm talking about because I'm saying when he went. Because I'm looking it up.
You
I'm
should
trying to
flip
verify.
your vote just for that fuckery. Jesus.
Yeah, because he didn't really. They didn't really use him right in Washington when he was with the Redskins.
Nah.
Even
dog.
though I think he would have had like 12 interceptions his first year.
No, his rookie year. When he,
Yeah, first year.
12 interceptions, yes.
Yep.
Point I'm making is he was like the
said
Ed
no,
Reed
but
of his
yes.
era.
I'll
Right?
give you that. I can't deny
And
that.
you picked a guy who only had 49 interceptions to 81. You were literally on our page ready to super kick people for not picking Night Train Lane.
Yes. Two different.
Talk to me, Reek.
Two totally different things. Okay, Night Train Lane, not just the interceptions, but he's also had the tackles go with it at the cornerback position.
And then you also gave me the whole, oh, look at these return yardage. My man had 1,100 plus return yardage.
He
Right.
is literally right
So the Night
there.
Train Lane. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm not giving.
I know, and he's
I'm
a
not
safety.
discrediting the interceptions, bro. I'm
You
saying
already
he picked that.
did. You
No, I
picked some
did not.
scrub.
All right,
You
that's
got
one
Bruce over there
stat.
doing cardiac.
Right, that's
got
one
exercises.
stat. Okay, he has more
I
picks than
stood up
him.
for this pod.
He got one more pick. He got more picks than him. Okay, what else?
Almost double, dog.
Okay,
Almost
what
double.
else? What else?
He went to 4 Super Bowls.
You
And they
you
weren't
told
his
me
fault that
you
he
told me
lost.
directly that Night Train Lane beats Revis because interceptions matter more than everything else. That's exactly
No,
what
Right,
you
but
told me.
I said, but I also
You
said
said.
he was better at tackling than
Let me ask you a question.
man-to-man
What
coverage.
is the job? He played more free safety, right, Sam, if I'm not mistaken?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
he
so, yeah.
did. He did.
Right.
They called him like
What's
Mr.
the
Baseball.
job? What's the job of a free safety?
The job of free safety is to get picks, and he did it.
And what did he do?
He got 81.
Got 81 of them things.
All time, bro. It doesn't. He
Yeah.
leads the whole. I think the NFL forever.
It's a record. It's the NFL record. Yep.
How
He's
is this
leader.
man going home right now? Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
Hang on. Okay. All right.
What are
So
you
to
talking
argue
about? You
that,
didn't
he
hit-
got
you didn't-
81 picks, but Wilson got 12 touchdowns.
Hey guys, I don't know if you were
don't
listening.
care.
I literally had picked Paul Krause. I
Oh, you
in
did?
it. Yes, I did.
Oh, I thought you picked. Okay, my bad. I thought he picked Paul. So go ahead. Go ahead. Y'all got it. Go ahead.
So,
thought
I
he
mean,
picked.
it's-
Stop now. All right,
I
stop
guess
now.
it's 3-2. I guess it's
3-2. Go ahead. Y'all got it.
I
Go
can
ahead.
stop now. I can stop
Okay.
now.
I was
thought he.
I was wondering, I'm
I
like-
thought he picked what's his name. Listen.
So,
I
Bruce-
didn't
so
receive
real
both from the
quick.
play.
Bruce, have a
So
drink.
Reek just gave me. I know Reek just gave me cardiac arrest for no reason.
I know.
Thanks, Reek. Appreciate
It's
that.
okay.
I stood up the pod tonight just because of this nonsense. I was going to
see.
deal with. Anyway, let's go to the next round. Congratulations. Mr.
I mean, I
Krause.
do want to say one quick thing about
No, you're not allowed.
Ken.
No.
Before we get him out of here, you know, what I mean,
Go ahead.
because he did have the record, or was the first man that had a record. I think it was like in 71, in which he
Right.
had like I think he had like 5 return
Talk to him.
touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Talk
Four interceptions and 1 fumble. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, Ken, like I said, Ken was a problem, but Paul, he is, when you talk about Ed Reed, and like I said, these two guys helped lead that whole ball hawking. That's where they got it from.
I mean,
it's from these two
Bruce-
guys. It's from these two guys.
You know what? Yeah,
Speaking,
you know
speaking
what?
of Ed Reed,
All right, you know what?
Yes.
speaking of Ed
I'm gonna
Reed,
give you
That's why I
Paul
did that.
Krause. I'm gonna give you Paul Krause because all right, I'm gonna give it to Paul. 81 is nasty. Good.
That's a lot of
Crazy.
interceptions, dog.
I'm gonna give it
Speaking
to
of
Paul.
Ed Reed,
I'm gonna give it
guys,
to Paul.
moving on.
My man was back here like
I'm
backpedaling. Like
gonna give him that. That's 81 is
he looked
retarded.
like Reese
I mean,
out
not
there.
retarded. That is
Oh,
stupid.
shit.
That's crazy.
You're welcome.
Not
Except he was
retarded.
a tall white man.
You're welcome.
I mean,
That's
close enough.
nuts. 81 is nuts.
You know,
I'll give him that
you
one.
guys-
Go ahead. I'll give him
They're
that
like
one.
brothers.
I'm gonna give Paul the 9. Go ahead.
Hey, all right, what
You're
you
my
got,
brother.
Timmy? What's the next
Now
matchup?
it's the 2-seed Ed Reed versus 7-seed Steve Atwater.
All right, what you got, Rye? Let's go.
Just pick Ed, because that's the only one you know. So go ahead.
The devil
Bro.
that
I mean-
know.
It could be Ed Reed versus anyone in this list, and I'm going to pick Ed Reed. So
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus
shit, he getting this
Christ.
shit already
It's-
done.
Let me-
You already know where he going.
Let me
It-
go next. 'Cause
it's
you
Ed
pick
Reed.
Ed.
What you got, Reek?
All right. So
He drinking what I'm drinking.
right, you definitely drinking. So I'm a still Rose.
I know the cross. I know the cross.
I'm gonna
on
still
it.
Rose. You know his little tidbit when he says people height. So Steve Atwood, I didn't know he was 6'3".
Yes.
6'3", 218. This is Cam Chancellor before Cam Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen. If you
Yes.
look it up, the hit that he is known for,
Oh man, I
I
knew
hate you.
like
Why you gotta
knocking-
steal everybody's thunder, dog?
and well, listen, I'm taking it. He's the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye. Now, people understand Christian Okoye, so imagine like a Mike Allstott dude that could fly.
With an accent.
With an
I
accent,
know.
right? So
Imagine
Nigerian
the
Nightmare.
accent.
So think of, straight off the boat, African strength, put them on pads,
Straight
and
off
go,
the boat,
"Pow!"
African
knock your head off. And here comes Steve, one-on-one, "Pow!" knock him down to the ground.
that
No,
was
no,
that was the sound.
not only to the ground, he knocked him backwards.
Right.
Yeah, and that
But
wasn't
that
happening.
shocked
Knocked him
the
in his
world.
tracks.
Now here's the thing. So people don't realize he has two super, just like Ed Reed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he does.
Yes,
And
he
he
does.
has more. I believe he
Ed's
has more
only got
tackles.
one.
Yeah, every only got one. He wasn't
Nah,
there.
Yeah, he
early.
wasn't there. It wasn't
Oh,
there.
he has
first
one.
time.
I thought
Nah, he
you're
got
right.
dog. He was
has
on that
one.
national championship, dog. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
that's right. He's getting
Get your
that. That's
shit
right.
together.
To you, my bad. To you. Okay.
Everybody trying to give
Sorry,
every two.
Right. So
We're trying to give me a heart attack today.
yeah, so he got more tackles than Ed too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he does.
Oh, this is about to be ridiculous.
Yes, he does.
I'm just saying as close as people think. I'm still gonna go
Yeah.
Ed Reed because Ed Reed is Mr. Ball. Like when you think of Ed Reed, you can try to throw the ball whatever you want, and he's picking it off. This man literally knew what Peyton Manning was doing off the line, and Bill Belichick, the GOAT of quarterbacks, the GOAT of coaches, said, "Listen, that was the best play I've ever seen. The man knew that Peyton Manning was going to look one way, throw the other way, and baited Peyton Manning. You know how hard it is to bait Peyton Manning? He baited him to a pick. You know what I'm saying? This man against my Eagles took it 100 yards plus to the crib. We could do nothing for him. Ed Reed, nasty. And he can slap you too.
Yes.
So I'm giving
First of
him
all,
Ed. I'm giving
he
him
can hit a little bit. First of all,
I
that was off
don't
Kevin
do that.
Cobb. That shit don't count.
It does
What?
count. It's still Ed.
Kevin Cobb don't count.
Okay.
That's like
All right.
Nathan Peterman.
What
Tell me what you're not talking about that
bro?
game.
What you
I'm
got?
just being an asshole,
I'm
bro.
glad you said that because guess what? I'm gonna make this very quick. My pick is definitely Ed Reed. There's a reason why he's second. He could be number one, to be totally honest with you. He could definitely be number one. It's definitely Ed Reed. Shout out to Steve Atwater. You are a problem. There was, I mean, a lot of people forget. You were also one of the reasons why Denver actually won that championship, and you actually got snubbed for winning Super Bowl MVP because of what? Yes. Hey, you say you're a historian? Go check back.
I already know he played a good game. I'm shocked he thought he was MVP.
Yeah, he should have won MVP, especially when the offense wasn't doing nothing. He literally
when he
held
stalled,
them down. Yeah. So a lot of people say, and that's why he made the Pro Bowl the following year. But Ed, we all know.
Brett Favre should have won MVP for that one.
Who did?
But he played
Brett
offensive
Favre
defense.
should have won.
Yo, you're such a
Brett
prick.
Favre should have won MVP for that
You're
Super Bowl.
Play offensive
such a
defense
prick.
that game. but still, man, it's definitely Ed Reed, man. I mean, you talking about the epitome of a ball hawk. That's Ed Reed. I'm gonna get into a little bit more of what he did. But as you guys talked about that game in which he set a record against Kevin Cobb, you know why Kevin Cobb was in there? Because they had to bench Mr. McNabb because he actually threw an interception to Ed Reed himself. So
That was the beginning. That was the beginning.
So, hey, what do you got, Tim?
So I got some stats here I wrote down. The 2 rings, yeah, 8-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time All-Pro first team. 24 interceptions. He was a hitter, but I can't give him off one giant hit to be one of the years. I mean, we've seen Jadeveon Clowney in that hit against Michigan. We've seen Brian Cushing, D. Cleat, Marshawn Lynch. Some big hits happened.
Yeah, but Okoye was different, bro. Like he was like somebody slapping all
Marshawn
style.
Lynch was a guy no one ever seen yet.
Yeah, but he was. I mean, Marshawn Lynch is that dude, but he's not Okoye as far as strength. Like that dude was. That's like knocking all style backwards, legit.
But I'm gonna go with Ed Reed, man. He was Defensive Player of the Year, four-time All-Pro. He was a guy like you had to worry about him running back. He also has the 2 longest interception returns for touchdown.
He does, and he has a couple that was pitched to him too.
Yeah, and I think I'm not 100% sure on this. I'm sure someone will fact check this, but wasn't he the first guy to return the field goal?
Yeah.
No, that was it wasn't. No,
not
Chris
return it,
McAllister.
but he
It's Chris
he,
McAllister.
It was Chris McAllister.
Yeah,
He was
not
involved
to
in
return it.
Yeah.
I think he was involved in it. Yeah.
He was in Baltimore at the time. That's right. But yeah, it's Ed Reed. What do you got, Bruce?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna apologize before I go further. Christian, I apologize for what I'm about to say. Because I respect Steve Atwater, but my man's lucky to be on this list. I'm gonna tell you a few things. Steve Atwater.
Steve Atwater?
I'm gonna tell you why. No, I gotta listen. I gotta get off my chest real quick. I'll be quick with it, short and sweet.
Who else is
Rest in
Bob
peace.
Sanders?
Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. If Sean Taylor played a full career,
God.
he'd be out high on this list. Yeah, you heard
Bo
me.
Jackson should have been on the running back list, bro.
Let me get it off my chest. Both of y'all shut up.
All
Ryan,
right,
get on
let's
Tinder.
put Bo Jackson with running backs too.
It don't matter. Yo, some of the shit that y'all say on this pod, I'll say whatever the hell I want. Friggin' put a Brian Dawkins jersey on and pick it against him. You thinking Chris McCaffrey is overrated? Hush up for a minute.
I got reasons, though.
I had to give Sean Taylor a quick shout out because after this is not fair
Such
to
a
do
homer.
that with all the greats around there.
Hey,
all right?
if Achilles Smith is any good, man, he would have been on this quarterback list one day.
Damn,
Yo,
Achilles
first of all,
Smith.
listen, we're not going
shit.
to disrespect Sean Taylor. Because Sean Taylor might have been the most talented player on this entire list. Okay, so stop that. But with that being said, Atwater was a thumper, and we've all agreed on that. Atwater made plays. He was boring as shit, but he made plays. Okay? Ed Reed? Oh, man, look, man. There's a few people on this list that it's hard to fight. The Dawkins that wasn't better than. Ed Reed might be one of them. I mean, I hate to say it, obviously, and I might take some shit for it, but Ed Reed was a problem every time the ball was anywhere near him. So I'm going to save all the goodies for later because, as you guys know, I'm a King fan, and I got tons about Ed Reed. This is Ed Reed. It's by a good bit. Steve Atwater, we appreciate you. Christian, I apologize for the Sean Taylor thing, but it's factual content here. And there's other safeties, but like Tim said, and Tim, I totally agree, and we talked about it before we got on the pod, right? Like, you even said Taylor would have been maybe top 3. But in general, there's not a lot of safeties that really, really, really stick out, right? We all talked about that before. Safety's a really weird position. Like, after the top 6, top 5, it's really hard. So,
Yeah, Bob Sanders on here.
Shut up, man. Stop. Don't be a smart. I'm being honest, though. You know what I'm saying, though.
Rodney Harrison.
I mean, John Lynch, I think
he was close, actually. He was close.
Yeah.
Rodney
Harrison was close.
Right? Rodney Harrison, John Lynch.
Lawyer Malloy.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
John Lynch.
Yeah, bro. There was some safeties, bro. I mean,
Quentin Michael.
Man, shut up, dude.
Stupid Quentin
Michael.
But nice guy.
Realistically, there were some corners that we put on this list that could have been on this list too.
Yeah,
you all know that.
That's true.
Rob Woodson and Charles Woodson. So,
yeah,
it's a catch-22. But anyway, Ed, you go. Let's go to round 2.
Okay, now we got Ed versus Paul here.
All right. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Let me get this out the way. Paul, 81 interceptions is absolutely bananas. However, Ed Reed, he was you, but twice as talented.
Yeah.
Ed Reed, I mean, literally there was teams. So a little story, and I figured I'd save it for the second. I was going to save it for the finals, but there was a quarterback who actually wrote inside on his wristband, "Nowhere 20 is at all times." Does anybody know what quarterback that was?
That was
Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom
Brady. So that guy had, he probably should have been maybe battling this dude somewhere late in the rounds, but we decided to go a different route. Tom Brady, many consider is the GOAT, right? He had that on his wristband every time he played the Ravens. That tells you something.
He's a smart man.
And very, very intelligent. And what's crazy is something that Reek said, it was kind of like, like Ed Reed was, he was definitely a film guy. It helped that he played behind one of the best linebackers of all time, Ray Lewis. And it was a very good defense. But he was just, ridiculous, bro. 81 interceptions, all them yardage, 6 touchdowns, though.
I know.
Top of anybody said. Anybody know how many touchdowns Ed Reed scored?
9.
I think 9.
Yeah, okay.
9.
So, and you would think that Ed Reed had – you would think he had more than that, though, right? You want to talk about touchdowns, and I think we could find this if we really looked. He actually pitched a lot away that actually ended up being touchdowns.
Yes.
A lot. I'm going to say at least another 7 or 8. So I'm not going to say by a mile. I'm not going to disrespect the legend, but it's Ed Reed. Reese, what you got?
I'll make this very short and quick. 1 Super Bowl, 0. Ed Reed. Paul, we talked about the 81 interceptions, as Bruce said. I'm not even going to get into more, but Ed Reed, he wasn't just a safety. He was literally an offensive weapon that played defense. I think just, as you said, I think only 9 touchdowns. Don't talk about just how impactful he was on the defense, and he did other things too. I'll say that to the next round, but every definitely in my book moves on, and I'm pretty sure he should move on in this. If not, we're going to have a problem with this pod.
I'll go next year.
Yeah, what you got, Tim?
Paul, I respect my elders. You have a great name.
Rest in peace.
But it's Ed Reed, man. Like I said in the last one, I'll stay consistent on one thing. That if you do it in the 60s and 70s over the modern day football, I got to put a little more stock in the modern day football.
Yeah. I understand.
He did it.
It's Ed Reed. I'm sorry, Paul. I apologize for disrespecting you by not studying you until this week. But now that I did, I know you're a fantastic player, but it's Ed Reed. Who wants to go next? Ryan, what do you got? Talk about the devil.
Ed Reed, next question. What you got, Reek?
Well. So here's the thing. When we talk about Ed Reed, right, we say he's a ball hawk, right? That's the main thing about Ed Reed. But Paul did it better than him. 81 picks to 64, right? So if he's better than him at being a ball hawk, he led the league in interceptions too. Ed has it 3 times, but the dude, if you compare what he did the years he did it, Ed had it, once he had 12 in a year and then had 10 in another year. So he was better at being a ball hawk than Ed Reed. If that's what we're talking, that's the biggest thing that Ed Reed did was intercept balls. So pause. So 9 touchdowns to 6 picks. I know he got 1 Super Bowl, but I'm saying Paul. If we're gonna say that the reason why Ed Reed is Ed Reed because he's a ball hawk, and the man got 81 versus 64. What do you want me to do? That's like saying someone. What do you want me to do? That's the reason why.
But sorry, Paul. Your ass is staying here. Let's move on.
He can move on. That's fine. I'm just saying that's why. We're saying Ed Reed's the ball hawk. The man had more.
So
picks.
let me see if I get this straight.
And he had all them interceptions. Only had 6
I just
touchdowns.
had to argue you to pick somebody with 81 interceptions over 49.
Right.
But you just picked possibly, and this is a very good possibility because you know how much, in my heart, I love Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
The best ball hawk of all time, even with 64 interceptions. By the way, he probably would have had more interceptions had teams actually tried to test him. Because I tell you what, at some point, teams just stopped testing Ed Reed. And anybody who wants to argue that, I got videos.
I thought you were talking about Brian Dawkins for a second.
No, but that's not my problem. But my point is, how are you going to be the best ball hawk ever and you don't have the most picks?
How are you going to pick somebody with 49 interceptions over 81.
And I
That's why
said, I
made
said
you see
my
the light.
bad. I said my bad. You
All
were
right.
right. 81 is
All
different. And I
right.
apologize.
Hold on, you went from 81 from my bad to now you
listen,
want to move
man.
him on to almost the final
Okay.
round?
81
move on,
picks
guys.
is
damn.
different. I'm
We have to
saying.
move on, guys. We have to move on.
All right,
Go
next.
ahead.
That's true.
We're gonna go with Ronnie Lott versus Brian Dawkins. I'll go first.
Man. Go ahead, bro.
Man with 4 Super Bowl victories, which is an integral part. Not just that, the man lost his finger to stay in the game.
For a bonus.
And then he was also a thumper. Had more interceptions. He was a 5-time 100 tackle season guy. And it's Ronnie Lott. Next.
I'm gonna get this out the way. I'm gonna
ahead.
leave this up to these Eagles fans. Now I'm not picking this guy just because he's a 49er player, but I also was able to watch him. But it's definitely Ronnie Lott. It's Ronnie Lott. I'm not saying it's by a mile. I'm not saying that it's not close. But I mean, I actually did like Brian Dawkins. You know what I mean? Hometown. I liked him. I liked the way he played. I liked the intensity he played with. But when you talk about a guy who kind of paved that way and kind of literally, I mean, I think it goes I think people forget about the Super Bowls and what Ronnie Lott did. You know what I mean? Especially when he first got there. He didn't even play safety. He played corner. In his first.
Athletic ass dude, man.
Yes. So, like, I think people forget that. And I think that gets lost because everyone talks about Ronnie Lott and the hits. But they don't know how smart he was. So I'm definitely taking Ronnie.
Also
to
a
me,
great leader, too.
Yes, great leader. So what do you got, Reek?
I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't know how I could pick Brian Dawkins over Ryan Lott. I mean, the man is the same amount of tackles. He's more interceptions. He's 4 Super Bowls. He got 10 Pro Bowls. He's a, you know what? He's a better 49er than Jerry Rice. And I said it. He's better than Jerry Rice as a 49er. Wow. He's got 4 rings. He has interceptions. He got tackles. He's a better Niner than Jerry Rice. I said it.
Doesn't even make sense.
It makes perfect sense.
He's talking to talk.
He's a better Niner than Jerry Rice. Tell me why. Look at these stats. Okay.
You know what? We'll save that. We'll save that.
I'm going to go real quick. So Ed Reed is supposed to be the ball hawk with 64 picks. He got 63. So same amount of picks as Ed Reed, and he has more tackles, and he has touchdowns, and he has 4 rings.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. It's Ryan Lott's not even close. I like Brian Dawkins, but not even close. Not
even close?
It's not even
close.
close.
Shit.
It's not even close.
I ain't gonna let you do him like that. I'll go next,
I
know Ryan's gonna pick Ronnie Lott, so I'll finish it up and I'll at least get the name. I'm honestly gonna tell you something, and I don't care. I already said this about Derek Thomas as well, right?
Yeah.
And Ronnie Lott was my favorite safety growing up until Brian Dawkins got in the league.
Just come on, be a 49ers fan. I knew it was in you.
Whoa. Chill.
Let it out.
Check this out. Ronnie Lott, listen. I remember because when he left that ugly ass like red, green, or red gold team, what he go? Oakland? Oakland. With Oakland. I was tempted to buy me an Oakland Raider jersey, right? Or LA, whatever the hell they were at that time. They got identity crisis.
Yeah, LA. It was LA.
Check this out. Brian Dawkins, I'm gonna say this again. Ronnie Lott was a leader. All right, that's all well and good. If you're gonna go category wise, there was nobody led like Brian Dawkins. I don't give a flying dog shit what any of y'all say. That's one thing I'm gonna give Brian Dawkins against him. His passion, I'm gonna trump over a mile over anybody in this conversation. The way he played the game, I can't undercut Ronnie Lott because Ronnie Lott brought it every single snap. So both of them, they're kind of like here. The stats are hard to argue though. My man had 63 interceptions. Yeah, he played well on a good defense and a team that won 4 Super Bowls, a dynasty, etc. Brian Dawkins did some shit. I was like, yo. The hit he laid on Algie Crumpler, Mike Vick. Just the hits he laid people like it just didn't matter. All right. So just real quick, because I want to give him a quick shout out, and then we're gonna move on because I'm about to pick Ronnie Lott in this one. Brian Dawkins is an undersized safety in Clemson, and he captured the city's heart, right? Nobody thought Brian Dawkins was going to be any good. So I'm making sure everybody knows
Second-round pick.
I'm just making sure everybody knows this man's a Hall of Famer. So any of you assholes out there that ever try to pick any Cowboy safety over that man.
But not
Kick
talking about
rocks.
that. They know that.
Anybody at all? Listen. I'm about to wrap it up. Chill, bro. I got to give my eulogy the right way. You know what I mean? It's a lot of respect for that man. All right. Any of you idiots that try to pick anybody not named Ronnie Lott or Ed Reed over Brian Dawkins, you're an idiot. Kick rocks. Whatever that fucking Darren generic ass Woodson from the Cowboy fans. I've heard Roy Williams. Get a fucking grip.
Darren Woodson
Roy Williams.
over
Get a fucking yo, I swear to
Roy Williams.
God, bro. I
Roy
sent you the
Williams.
screenshot.
Wow.
I sent you the screenshot, Tim. Remember? We'll talk off
Yeah.
there. I'm not going to name drop. But this man said, I take Roy Williams over Brian Dawkins. I don't know if that person was drunk, high, or if he just lost his mind.
Wasn't Roy Williams picked the
crazy.
same year as Ed Reed?
Maybe. But
I
I didn't
think
give
so.
a flying shit.
And I think he was picked before.
He was. It don't matter.
It does, because I know they wish they picked Ed Reed.
Overall. I agree with that. Anyway,
Okay.
check
Yeah,
this out.
Ryan, you're up.
Yeah. it's
What is
Ronnie
it
Lott.
right now? 4-0.
Love you, Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I ain't gonna let B-Dawk go down like that, so I'm gonna go
Attaboy,
Dawkins
go
here
ahead.
out of pure
let me-
respect.
Yeah, out of respect. He deserves it. He deserves it.
You
He
ran a
definitely
Okay, now we're
deserves
going
it.
to go to the finals, the grand
Love you, B-Dawg.
finale here. I'm going to choose the order on this one. So we're going to go with Reese
I
first,
like that.
Okay.
then Ryan, then Bruce, then me, then finish up with Tariq.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I know why you did that. Damn. Good.
Man, oh man, oh man. Ronnie, 6 foot 203. Ed Reed, what is it? 5'11", 205. Very comparable, right? So first round pick, both of them. 4 Super Bowls to 1. Okay. 10-time Pro Bowl, Ronnie Lott. 9-time Pro Bowl. 8-time first team All-Pro, Ronnie Lott. 5 first team All-Pro, Ed Reed. So Defensive Player of the Year, Ed Reed. Ronnie never got that. Okay.
That was a tough time he played in, though.
1,146 tackles. I believe Ed Reed does it now. I mean, tackles.
100, 700.
He wasn't a thump.
Yeah.
He wasn't a tackler, bro.
He wasn't like that. Okay,
He
cool.
wasn't.
But also, I don't think they wouldn't even ask him. He had, as you said,
He didn't
had
need to
some
do
dogs.
that. He didn't need to do that.
He had one of the greatest
One of the best front
linebackers.
sevens ever.
Exactly. Didn't need to do that. So
Tony
great.
Saragusa.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
Like you said, 63 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. Ed Reed was a problem, guys. Was a problem. It's still today. He's the first
doing
NFL
that.
player with an interception, a punt, block punt, a fumble, all returned for a touchdown. All returned for a touchdown, and that's in the season. First ever. Also, he even broke his own record for interception return, which was 106, as we guys already stated earlier. He did against you guys for 107. When you talk about, like I said earlier, he's an offensive weapon that played defense. And not even just, okay, the interceptions, the fumble recoveries, the forced fumbles, he had 11. The fumble recoveries, 13. You know, he was around the ball. He just had a knack of finding where the ball was at, and guess what? Pitching it, tossing it. He literally almost honestly played flag football in the NFL. I hate to say it, but he did. Now let's talk to Ronnie. Forced fumble, 16. Different era now. Different era. They started just to throw the ball a little bit more, right? Ran it. Okay. Forced fumble, 16. Fumble recovery, 17. TDs, 5. Okay. This is a very hard pick for me. This is I know Ed Reed led the league 3 times. Ronnie only led it 2. But when you talk about, once again, I like to say this, when you talk about the epitome, the standard, where everybody looks at as far as the safety position, till this day, talk about Jamal Adams, you know what I'm saying, being the number 1. They looked at Ronnie. And it's going to be Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott in everybody's book is the number 1 safety all time. GOAT, no hands down. Everyone's still comparing it. Everyone's still comparing it. Anybody who really knows football, they know it's Ronnie Lott. And I understand it. And that wasn't an easy choice because I love Ed Reed. I love the way he played. I hate him in Miami since I'm a Florida State fan. But so who you got next?
Ryan's up next.
Ryan,
who you got, buddy?
So I'm gonna give you my goat with literally no context because I can't add anything because you just stole every ounce of thunder from every single person that was gonna make a pick. I got a little love for the U right here. I'm gonna go with Ed Reed. What you got, Tim? You're up. There's a Bruce.
I'm up. So I can I'll give both guys their credit. I do want to mention what you said. Something, Reese, that like to backpedal for a second. What Ed Reed did.
Yeah.
A guy we just exited this competition is the only person to ever have an interception. I can't go without saying it. A forced fumble, a touchdown, and a sack in the same game, and that's Brian Dawkins. He did it against the Houston Texans.
Yep.
That was impressive. Anyway, I had to give that shout out. So look, Ed Reed, you know him. You listen all day, every day on the best college team of all time. Ronnie Lott, you're the reason you were Ed Reed. Ronnie Lott is the reason you are Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. 4 Super Bowls. And you mentioned something, and I know Tim understands where I'm coming from with this. He didn't win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Bro, he had some people to really go up against. And if you really want to look,
I'm pretty sure because of LT.
I'm pretty sure he finished second or third a bunch of times, right?
He did.
Ed, all them interceptions, all them yards, everything, and I'm glad you got a ring because I really was hoping that was going to happen. I rooted for you. Ronnie Lott,
It didn't happen.
congratulations, sir. In my book, and I hear a lot of people, and I know you guys can vouch for this. Some people forget about Ronnie Lott, which is a shame, right? They try to use the Dawkins, Ed Reed, or Polamalu argument as the best safety of all time. It's Ronnie Lott, maybe, and then Ed Reed, and then there could be a battle for third. I personally think it's Dawkins. Next question.
Yeah, we'll go with Reek next then.
It's Ronnie Lott. I don't see how it can't be Ronnie Lott when everybody says that Ed Reed's a ball hawk with 64 and Ronnie has 63. So he was just as good at the same thing that Ed Reed was at. So then you go to tackles. It's Ronnie Lott. When you go to Super Bowls, it's clearly Ronnie Lott. So how is it not Ronnie Lott? It just is. It's Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott could pick the ball up like Ed Reed and slap you like Brian Dawkins. It's Ronnie Lott. Like, I don't. What are we talking about here? He's the best Niner of all time.
Oh. Look at
I
this man
can't
turn this
hate
into.
on that, man. I can't hate on that.
I know
He's
it's
the
hard- I know it's
best
hard
Niner of
argument.
all time. He has 4. I hope they battle in the GOAT championship or the GOAT finals,
There's
whatever.
Yo,
He's better
There's
than
no
Rice as a
shot.
Niner. I'm sorry.
no
4 beats
shot he
3.
should win this. None.
4 beats 3.
4 beats 3.
That's only
So
because he didn't come in the league in this early enough.
Whose
Come
fault
on,
is
dog.
that? Is that Ronnie's fault?
his
Oh,
mama
yeah.
and his daddy.
It's Jerry Rice's fault.
Mama and his daddy.
Exactly. His mom at 4-3. I'm sorry.
He's supposed to try a
4-3.
little earlier to
4-3.
little Jerry.
I don't know what to tell you.
Poor Jerry.
I'm sorry.
He's
got
one of the
So
best players
it's Ronnie.
ever.
Y'all
in
can
the
keep this
NFL.
moving. Ronnie to the chip.
All right,
He's
bro.
the
Go
best
ahead,
Niner.
Timmy.
You got it, Reek. I know what
Yeah,
Reek
go
like
ahead,
to
Timmy.
do. Reek
So
be
I wrote-
drinking when I'm drinking.
I wrote this when I started the Goat Madness. For all you guys that like this movie, you'll understand this thing. Oh, Ronnie Lott, no matter what. Shout
Draft
out
day,
to Draft
baby.
Day.
Yes, sir.
I wrote that when I first did the bracket.
Vontae Mack.
To me, this was the easiest one for me. Like, maybe Dion might be the easiest one, but it was definitely close. But yeah, Ronnie Lott was. I love Ed Reed too, but I'll say this: at no point in his prime was Ed Reed the best player on his defense.
He never was. Ray Lewis was.
Yeah,
Ray Lewis was.
but
No matter what
Ronnie
everybody
was.
wants to say. Yeah. Well, he was the best player the whole entire time he was there.
The Niners moved pieces around Ronnie Lott every year, changed up a little bit
Every single.
during the Super Bowl
Ronnie,
run.
the
But
best
Ronnie Lott was
defensive player
there.
ever.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's Ronnie Lott.
Got
Sorry.
more rings than Lawrence Taylor. 4-2.
Tim, I love that. I love the draft
that's
day
true,
thing.
Reed.
I'm just saying because I'm getting spicy for next time we talk.
That's very true.
Nah, but listen,
Maybe another defensive player got 4 rings. There was a reason for 4.
I'll say this.
Another defensive
player. Name me a player. Charles Haley.
I'm about to say.
So do
He's
this
not on
for
this
me, though.
list. That's not my fault.
Name me another player who actually cut his pinky off to play football. Holler at me.
I know
Somebody's better than Rice. So Rice because
And
my
discuss.
God, stop saying that.
He
You know what it
He
is.
cut that
You know
joint
what it-
off. He said, wait, I'm not gonna get my bonus. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna win this game.
Right.
Cut that shit off. I'll
Right.
need that
Jerry
back on
needed
later.
sticking to cash it.
Oh,
Bro.
I see what
Yeah,
you're
go
doing.
ahead.
I see what you're
Ronnie,
doing.
Ronnie
I
said,
see
"Don't
what
drop
you're
me.
doing.
I'm worth $1 million."
Right,
what you're doing.
exactly.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, go ahead. Say Jerry's better. Go ahead. You're lying to yourself.
I ain't got this. I ain't got to
The
say
best
nothing.
Niner is Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
we all
tough.
know that's a
Not.
lie.
That's
but-
tough for me to say, dude. It's like fighting over your kids, man.
You can say
Yeah,
Joe.
right.
I won't argue Joe because Joe's
It
playing
makes me
back.
sick to my stomach. There's 3 Niners in the finals.
But he's
Four.
Hey,
better.
we got a
Four.
great
Four.
team.
He's better than Jerry.
Nah, you're not getting Dion, dog. Get out of here.
Ronnie's better
We're
than
not
I put the
Jerry.
getting
pictures up. I put the
He's a
pictures up.
Falcon.
There's 4.
But yeah,
He's a Falcon.
Ronnie moves on, and he
I
might
was
go
going
to
to put
the
the
Edit
Niners
that
Rod
finals.
Woodson up there too.
I'm editing that. I swear to God, I'll edit every picture.
I'm telling you, when we do this go finals, if you ain't got 4 rings, don't talk about who better than Riley. I'm telling you right now.
I swear
Oh
you do these
my
finals and there's every single
God.
Niner picture. I'm
I'm
editing that
telling
shit.
you.
Hey, look,
Anybody
hey, we
gonna get
can't
signed
help
if they
that.
got 4
Y'all
rings,
picking
I'm
them
not saying nothing
too.
else. I'm telling you.
Fellas,
Ryan looking
Fantastic
confused as hell
episode,
over there.
good
I'm
episode.
like, Ronnie Lott versus Walter Payton. I'm like, how many rings does Walter Payton have?
Oh my! You can't even say the rings. So how did you not pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, you go back and forth with these damn rings. I tell you that.
Oh no,
That
oh,
ring
no,
is
it's
so-
definitely
but it's
the devil
4 to
that you do, the
1.
devil that you don't, dog.
What is 4
I
to
know.
1? What do you want me to say? Like,
I think Tony G's the only person without a ring, right?
Yes.
I dared to be Ronnie Lott versus Tony G.
I
That'd
hope
be the
so.
fastest
I hope
advancement
so.
in this
Tony,
episode.
Nope. I'm going Tony G
Well,
right
go
now.
ahead.
I don't care what anybody say.
if we're
I'm
getting
going
together for
Tony
this,
G.
there'll be a lot of drinking if Tony G beats Joe Montana.
Oh my
Hey.
I
God.
walk out.
Look.
Listen,
Yeah, so
Hey,
so
hey,
I think for that though we should
I'll-
definitely reseed and do offense defense for the opening
could
round.
definitely do that. Yeah,
Oh no, I think
definitely
we
do
already talked about that. We're not doing like I think doing like every 8 seeds. That's what we're doing. Not just gonna do, however it goes. It's gonna be 1 through 8. We're gonna figure out what it is.
Gotcha.
So, right, Tim? Is that that's what we discussed?
Well, it's up to you guys. I kind of like
Tim, you there?
best. I kind of like the best defensive player versus the best offensive player at the end.
yeah, I like that too. I
Right.
like that too.
You know
With
what?
that being
I mean-
said,
we can keep it.
go ahead,
But-
go ahead, Ron. Finish this off. We don't want to give too many secrets. I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
but you know
that's
what,
right.
fans, if y'all wanted to go ahead and vote on it, you know what I mean, which I think we should do next if y'all hear this episode, you know what I mean, before we drop it, then let us know.
If
know
y'all
what I mean?
vote, if y'all
What's that?
fans vote Ed Reed or Ronnie, y'all foolish.
Mm.
You
It's gonna happen, dog.
You're Reese. Why don't you
Take it away,
take us home tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, we are finished wrapping up all the positions, the GOAT Madness. Tonight was the safety position, and Ronnie Lott, no other than the best safety, the GOAT, San Francisco 49ers, Ronnie Lott takes it home. So I want to make sure all you fans, please listen and thank you. Continue to download us on Spotify, on Apple. Continue to show the support on Facebook. Look us up on Twitter, and definitely send us a follow on Instagram. You can hit us all
Yes,
on
sir.
the Football Guys podcast. Okay. So,
Yes,
man,
sir.
you guys be safe. God bless.
Also,
And,
subscribe on YouTube.
Yes, please like and
Hit
subscribe.
the
Ding, ding,
notification
ding,
bell.
ding, 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 wherever that button may be at around here.
Do that.
Hit it,
I ain't hear
hit
no
it.
bell.
Later. Peace.
Ding, ding.